Greetings. It is Monday, December the 1st, in the final month of the insane year of 2025. I'm Thomas Caldwell of the Aurelian Column on the road, and this is the Monday Morning Report. I'm in Appalachia right now. Holiday season, Thanksgiving season. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Sadly, though, there were two families in West Virginia who didn't. They were the ones who had two young people in Washington, D.C., guarding the streets, apparently, who were shot and one was killed, one is fighting for his life. They came from West Virginia, a very rural Appalachian area where I'm currently reporting to you from. They were killed by an Afghan national who had come to the United States because he helped us in our war in that country, us being U.S. My. He drove all the way across the country. Apparently, something went wrong up here. Now, a lot of people are screaming this is a way of not letting people into the country and what have you, but let me tell you something. We've had this happen before. Last year in Fairfax, Virginia, outside of D.C., you had another person who helped us overseas in the military who lost it and was shot and killed by police. You see, when you take people from totally alien cultures and bring them into this one, it usually doesn't go well. They can't survive. They can't relate to us. If they can't keep a job, this is a very brutal country to be in. Most people can't relate to them, and they can't relate to others. Their communities are, well, it's not a good mix. This is a case against multiculturalism. And also, it's a case against foreign adventurism. We got plenty of that going on these days. Every time we go out and start shooting up or blowing up a country, we suddenly start taking in more people from that country. Where do you think all the Vietnamese came from in this country, eh? Now we're about to go to war with Venezuela. Well, we have a lot of Venezuelans, but guess what? Looks like the Trump administration this week is going to do something, and that something will be, what are they calling it now? Operation Southern Spear. Wow. Doesn't that sound impressive? It will result in Cuba losing most of its oil. Mexico has plenty of oil. When will they ever learn, as the song went back in the 60s? Well, how this goes, we're supposed to be hearing something over the next couple of days. There are many warships off the coast of Venezuela, 15,000 troops. Is Mr. Trump going to try to do a deal? Well, we'll end up having more spaces filled in Arlington National Cemetery and elsewhere, and more people who helped us in that future conflict, very near future conflict, who are going to come here, not get along, and more tragedies. You see, when you invade another country, usually the best people of that country are not going to be the ones to help you. Think about that. If the Chinese or Russians, for some bizarre reason, invaded North America, do you think the people helping them would be among the best that we can produce? Probably not. No. A lot of criminal activity at all levels of our country right now. Trump brought the military into Washington, D.C. because Washington, D.C. is dangerous. Although having a bunch of National Guardsmen standing around, I don't really know how well that's going to work. I mean, send them after the gangs, but you got to have lived in D.C. to understand that place. Take it from someone who did. Now, one little thing, relatively speaking, that is giving me a little bit of hope is North Carolina, which just today has invoked Irina's law. It's taken effect. Now, you may or may not remember her. I hope you do. She was that beautiful blonde-haired woman, young woman, who was Irina Yarutska, I believe it's pronounced. And she was the one who was minding her own business, riding a light rail train in North Carolina on her way home. And suddenly a very savage monster decided to slit her throat, and we got to see it. Internet's wonderful, huh? Well, it turns out that that particular subhuman, that's what he is, sorry, he's a subhuman. He had many problems, runs in with the law, violent things, and they just released him on his own recognizance, and some young woman had to pay with her life, but they have a new law there now. They're not going to just release violent criminals without serious bail or not at all. And all the liberals hate it. Oh my goodness. It's going to violate people's rights. Well, fortunately, there's saner people in the state legislature of North Carolina who voted for this, and the governor signed it. So it's going to be harder for monsters to get out of jail, where they can do more harm to decent human beings. You see, I don't think people realize exactly what's going on in this country, but the worm has turned. It really has, because human beings can only take so much. Human history is all about humans who've just said enough at some point and start to push back, or in many cases, fight back. And that's what we're beginning to see right now. I'm sure a lot of you at Thanksgiving were talking politics with your relatives or friends, or even in restaurants. Hopefully it didn't get too heated. But politics, although a lot of people say they're not interested in politics, as an old Greek philosopher once said, politics are interested in you. This country, at least the places where I'm visiting now, which is out in Appalachia at the moment, and other places, they're sick of this. They're sick of the violence. They're sick of not living in safety. They're sick of seeing beautiful young women brutally murdered in front of their eyes, or young promising people that just want to serve in their military gunned down by nutcases who shouldn't be here. ICE is doing a great job around this country, in spite of all the insane progressives, if they like to be called that are trying to stop them. The U.S. must be made sovereign again. The borders must be secured. The insane, both foreign and domestic, the criminals, both foreign and domestic, need to be dealt with. And that includes the people at the top. We've got more than a few of that. Well, Venezuela, drug dealing, geopolitics. Anybody who says they have all the answers, and I certainly don't believe them. If anything, be suspicious of them. Because if history has taught us one thing, is that those who have all of the answers are usually the ones who create all of the problems. That's it for today. If you appreciate my work, please like, subscribe, and share. Share with your friends and share with your enemies, and just make sure they're enemies that you can handle. You don't want too many. And please consider a paid subscription or a donation. It does help keep the lights on, in this case, the lights of my vehicle and the gas tank full. I can be reached at feedback@aureliancolumn.com. That's feedback@aureliancolumn.com. I'm up on X. My handle there is MICCAMPEN, MICCAMPEN. I'm on other social media platforms, but not on Facebook. This podcast originates at Substack. My handle there is aureliancolumn.substack.com. Until we meet again, be good, be safe, be vigilant, and remember, clown world, the deep state, and all filthy, violent, subhuman savages must be destroyed. Good day.